I'm just going to answer so people can stop asking me. No, I didn't watch the documentary. And here's why. Now, let me give you an example, a comparison that'll make sense. My grandmother was liberated from a concentration camp, but there are some academic historians that still believe that the Holocaust didn't occur, that it was a conspiracy. Now, they might make up, out of millions and millions of history academics, they make up 0.01%, for argument's sake. Now, I could get that handful out of millions, 5 or 6 people, put them in a documentary and present that as fact. It might get loads of likes, it might get loads of people talking about this documentary, loads of views, loads of advertising revenue, make my channel seem relevant suddenly when it's not been doing so well. That doesn't mean that it's ethical and right to do. Now, I wouldn't watch that documentary because I know it was a load of nonsense, and it's the same with this. Let me explain why really quickly. I won't need to do a whole documentary on it, but let me just give you a few scientific facts that shows unequivocally that ADHD does exist. We know that if you open up my brain and anyone else with ADHD, and that's not to say that there aren't people misdiagnosed, but at the moment, we think 3 to 6% of every country's population has a condition. In the UK, at the moment, we're at 0.37%, so we're way under diagnosis. So let's just go with that anyway. If you open up my brain and other people with ADHD, and for this particular one, autism as well, everyone else, the trillions of other people on the planet, what they do is they grow brain stems, they prune them through different stages of brain development. If you've got ADHD or autism, you don't do that. You grow brain stems and you maintain all the other ones. That's a natural thing. That's not a social construct. Your brain just doesn't suddenly stop doing that because you socially believe that there is this condition. It's proven unequivocally that occurs. It's proven unequivocally that people with ADHD retinas respond a lot quicker to light and other stimulus than neurotypical people. We also grow the frontal cortex of the brain. The consistency of the brain matter is at a lot lower and grows a lot later than everyone else without the condition. And again, that's not something that can occur with a social construct. There's also the CDH2 gene, which has been isolated and found to be the genetic gene that is passed on that creates ADHD. Again, we don't just suddenly mutate our genes and pass them on to other people because of social construct. And let's not forget the massive correlation of comorbidity of things like Marfan syndrome, hypermobility, that is there with such a large proportion of people with ADHD. And again, I don't find out I have this condition that's a social construct and suddenly my hypermobility in the joints just suddenly comes, or even arachnodactyly and the higher correlation of having really long fingers and things like that. It's absolutely ludicrous insanity to suggest otherwise. So these scientists, don't forget, a lot of these are plugging their own books. Some of them are just narcissists and want time on the camera and things like this. They're selling something. Channel 4 wanted to sell something to you as well. It's also, don't forget, for some reason, and I said this 10 years ago, I wrote an article for The Independent saying ADHD is the most discriminated against condition. I still stand by that. Nothing's changed in all those years. In fact, today, I'd say it's even worse than when I wrote that. So we're at this point where we're being used again as a tool. We've had migrants were the first, then they always move on to disabled people, and then ADHD is always one of the first. And part of that is the paradox, I think. Part of that is the paradox that I can come and talk to you like this. I could stand and deliver lectures. I can debate with people, and I come across as potentially, hopefully, articulate, intelligent. So they see that and they can't understand the other paradox of the things that we struggle with every single day. But that's just how our brain works. And it's been amazing in the past, which is why we've passed it on, and it continues to this day to be a condition. Problem is, in modern society, it does cause a lot of problems. And maybe that is one of the reasons why we're being targeted. The ADHD brain, I think, is one of the first to show the symptoms of the negativity of what's happening with social media and the modern ways of living. We're the first to be affected in terms of that attention culture, that social media culture, the clicking, all this, the doom scrolling. We're the first to show those responses. So maybe if they belittle us and shut us down, then it becomes our fault, not what they're doing. And don't forget, the algorithms on social media are pushing this massively. They're wanting you to believe that ADHD doesn't exist. The newspapers, interestingly, if you look at who owns the newspapers, again, they're the ultra rich. So this ideology is coming from them because, first of all, it takes the heat off them. Also, they don't want to see the effects, the ills that they're causing on society to be highlighted, first of all, in us. Blame it on the individual, and it takes away from them. We need to fight it. We need to stand up. It is pure ableism. They wouldn't do this for Down syndrome, blind people, say it's a social construct. And I know you say, well, you can see it isn't. You open up my brain, you can see it isn't. It's as simple as that. We need to fight this. ADHD UK have got a is it a petition? There you go. That's my ADHD brain working. It is a petition, yeah. I was thinking of a partition. That you can complain to Ofcom for ableism. We need to fight back. If they did a racist documentary, it shouldn't stand. And it's the same as if they do an ableist documentary. To me, it's exactly the same. It's picking on the minority of those of people with less than a voice. And it's time to fight back.